Hello everyone and welcome to PaxAriaGaming. This is Reg. And we're picking up where we were last time at the Outskirts Mining Road. Okay, there are a lot of these little enemies around. More importantly, the little crystals off to the right that you see in the background will cause blight. And while you can't lock onto them, you should destroy them. When I was in this area earlier, I did not realize that because you can't lock on. I figured there's nothing I can do about it except run around them and stay out of the way. Unlike, what game was it? Lies of P had crystals like this. But you can lock on, basically giving you a clue that they can be destroyed. This is not a very long area, but it's a little tedious. So we're going to make our way through this mining cave type, well, I guess it's a mine, not a cave. We're going to make our way through the mine, destroying these crystals whenever we get a chance. Whoa. There are plenty of enemies ahead, including a summoner who's... no, not the summoner. We have the triad. There's an area off to the left that will lead to a rebel camp. Maybe the same rebel camp, just coming in from a different angle. And then the road straight ahead leads outside into another area. But what we want to do first is take care of the triad. And they are fairly weak to fire, which sort of makes sense since they're trees. We've seen... Actually, we've fought them before, so you sort of know what the program is. When he slams his arm into the ground and creates those little explosions, just back up. Very weak to fire, but also you can use magic. And you can actually go in and... fight them using your melee skills as well. So, any of a number of ways to take these guys out. Yeah, that's a summoner. Well, I didn't really need to do that since he was already dead. Alright, so we're going to take those things out to make sure that we're not going to be blighted. I've had the experience. Once it builds up, you die pretty quickly. Okay, so this ladder leads into the rebel camp. Yeah, I don't actually... I think it's connected to the different sections that's called rebel camp. I'm assuming it's the same rebel camp, it's connected, it's just a different way of getting into it. Or it's a different section of the rebel camp. Same enemy type, so no worries in terms of whether or not it's different. It's the same basic enemy type. Who will talk about severing the head and all this other craziness. Okay, so take this guy out since he's the closest one to me. There are a number of enemies just roaming through this camp. There's of course loot. There are cannons, and then there are guys on perches, those platforms above that will shoot arrows at you. I was using the whip sword thing, but I like my short sword because it helps me generate magic. So we're going to start at one end and work our way to the other end. So I am attempting to actually use the sword to fight with more. So you'll notice that more in this section, or more in this this part than in the previous part, and you'll notice that a lot more in the next part than you will in this part. So each step of the way I get a little bit better. I'll also start investing my some of my points into strength, stamina, vigor, which I haven't been doing a lot of. It's mostly magic, but it makes my character incredibly squishy. And as we move through the different areas of the game, the enemies get harder. I mean, it's not a huge jump up, but it's enough that you struggle more. And with these types of enemies, it's really not that big a deal because you can kill them pretty easily with magic, you can kill them pretty easily with melee. It's when you get to the mini bosses and bosses where things are a little bit tricky. And because I have the lifesteal pendant on, I'm not as worried about taking damage because I know I can get it back by killing the particular enemy. So we have a cannon at our disposal, we may as well use it. Of course I ran out of cannonballs. So, but he's gonna just keep slow walking, so we'll still have the opportunity to kill him. Usually it takes 2 shots anyway. I have no idea what they're cooking, but it looks disgusting. Okay. So there's a boss, one of 2 actually, behind that gate that we just passed. And the Nyan, see, this is another part of the rebel camp, so you can see rebel camp pop up a lot. And since there's no map, I can't really tell how connected they are. Maybe they're connected and I'm just not seeing the connection. Anyway, Nian, NPC that we met early in the game, is supposed to be here waiting for me, but he's not, which is a problem, which means I did not do something in his quest. So I need to, before I go through that door, I need to find him. The last time we saw him, he was at the top of a hill. I think it was in Hill's Watch, and he talked about, I think, losing a backpack or a bag or something. So I'm going to need to go backtrack, find him, get him what he needs, and then he should appear at that door. I'm trying to keep all of the side quests alive. This is an FYI. I've done a pretty decent job so far. I haven't. I don't think I've ruined any of the quests yet. And so I think all endings are still a possibility. There are 4 different endings. Right now I still have the possibility of achieving all 4. But since this is chapter 2, we're probably going to make some decisions in this chapter that will influence the end. I can't imagine they'll let us get all the way through 90% of the game and then make the decision later. So I'm assuming that sometime soon we'll have to make a decision. But one of the key factors in all of the endings is making sure you're following the side quests, because some of those side quests are tied to different endings of the game. Okay, so here we can go to 3, 1, 2. There's a path directly to the left over here. There's a path that goes up that slope. There's a path to the right. I don't think there's a fourth path, but we'll see. And there is a, there we go. I was gonna, just gonna say, and there's a shrine right here. This is helpful. This is the Rebel Camp Shrine. We had the Outskirts Shrine. I don't think Mining Road had its own shrine. I can level up. I probably should before I sort of start going in here and fighting a bunch of stuff. I'm not in danger of my inner demon showing up, so that's good. So the cap on magic, I think I said before the soft cap was 50. I think the soft cap is actually 25 and the cap is 50, beyond which you really, it's diminishing returns. So I definitely want to get magic up to 50 and then start putting some things in feathering. And I think I'm going to be forced to add some things in strength and agility. And for strength, that means I'm going to have to sort of maybe go to the axe tree and see, I'm getting better at the melee stuff. Nice. So anyway, in the impetus, I would need to go to the axe tree, unlock a node, and put some points into strength. I think that's where strength is. Okay, great. Either someone's shooting at me or I stepped on a mine, but I don't think I stepped on a mine. I think they're shooting at me. Yeah, that's definitely cannon fire coming from this tent. Well, that's pretty ingenious. You put a cannon inside the dark tent. All right, buddy. This is what you get for shooting me with a cannon. Damn it. Why did you do? Oh, you were hiding a chest. Alright, we have another pendant. I don't know how many of them are in the game. And since I loot everything, I don't think I've missed any unless you can purchase them as well. So whenever I meet up with the merchants, I have to sort of look a little bit more carefully at their stuff. I haven't really been paying as much attention because I haven't bought a lot. But the benedictions I should buy, because if you get a set, that gives you nice bonus. You can find some of them in the game, but I think that you can also buy some of them. There's a weapon that I would like. I forget what it's called. Something gaze. And I can't get it because I didn't order the deluxe version of the game. That's the only way you get that particular weapon. Heaven's Gaze, I think is what it's called. So I don't know what weapon skills it has and things like that, but I don't have it, so not something I can use. Yeah, I gotta find Nian. I don't know. I think I remember where he is. I should stop putzing around and go to find the guy so I can fight this boss. So I think in the last episode we didn't fight a boss. And this one I think we will fight. Maybe we'll get to 2. Yeah, Frostbite doesn't really do much. It causes you to react the way she just reacted. But it doesn't seem to affect your health very much. It's annoying, I guess, if you're in the middle of a fight and you have that reaction. It can cost you your life, I guess. So my strat here is to have him walk over the mine and then attack him. Of course, he did not walk over the mine. Okay, so that strat didn't work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
I'll sever your head!
Okay, if you're wondering what I'm doing, this is all about the search for Nian. So, you're like, why is he going back to this space? I'm trying to rack my brain to figure out whether or not I know for sure where he is. Haven't seen the panda in a while. I need to go back and see what he has to sell now, if I can figure out where he is. He does not show up on the teleport map. So the elevator only works once you activate it from below. Okay, so there's a tree ant back there. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's breakable and what's not. I figured it was breakable since he was back there. So, but you can't always, things that look breakable aren't always breakable. Okay, so this is I guess we can call this the middle path. The one to the left is the one that led to the elevator. This is the middle one, and then there's one to the right as well. We have some nice little loot, always important to grab. This tower doesn't have anything connected to it. Ah, that's what he was guarding. Alright, so we have a little chest. Okay, we got a benediction, which proves that exploring is a good thing in this game. I don't think I have a full set of 3 of 3 of any of them yet. I have a bunch of them, but I don't think I have a set. So if you use the set and you socket those in your weapon, you can seriously upgrade the damage your weapon does. That's also part of the reason why I say I should be buying them if I see them as well, because I don't think I'm not sure I can find a set. I think it's a combination of buying, finding to create that. I think. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, there's some parts of the game that makes you feel like you're going around in circles. So I'll try to cut some of my wandering so that you guys won't think, what the hell, where's this guy going? There are a couple of places in the game like that. Here, more than any place we've been so far, but there are some upcoming places that are just as annoying to traverse. The good thing about this place is at least you can see your tracks in the snow. So you have an idea that you've been there, at least in the snowier parts, not where we are right now.
Thank you.
newest nemesis is those guys on those platforms up there. Proving the military adage that if you have the high ground, you're in good position. He definitely has the high ground. And of course, there are a couple of ways to get him. One is to simply climb the ladder and fight him up top. Hope you don't get knocked off. Although if you're full health, you might not die. I'm not sure. We'll come back to him though. We'll take out the little scrubs ahead. But we will get him. Oh, okay. This guy pops out of nowhere.
I'll sever your head!
I just stepped on a mine. Yeah, that was the sound that soldiers back in World War II and in Vietnam would have not liked to hear.
Sever your head!
General.
Okay, so throwables are not that potent, at least against human-type enemies. Against the little birds that we take the feathers from, it's pretty good, but against everything else, it doesn't seem to work out. There is a pendant that will increase the potency of throwables. I can't tell you by how much, what percentage, so we'll have to check that out later. That's what you get for bothering me this whole section of the map. And standing in a way that my magic couldn't reach. Okay, so we've made a full loop of the rebel camp. I still have to find Nian. who should be standing right over here somewhere. So before I get myself caught up in more shenanigans, let me actually do that. So he's in Hill's Watch. I think I remember where he is now. This little lady is still around.
You went to the village, didn't you?
I'm dressed just like her. I think when we come back, she'll be dead. I don't think she died of grief because there's a lot of blood around her. Okay, so he should be at the top of this hill. Yep, there he is. Buddy, I've been looking for you. Sorry to goof up your quest.
Ah, what's lost is lost. But it won't stop me from roaming these lands. That pack you carry looks exactly like mine. Though these knickknacks of mine may not be worth much, I must thank you all the same.
I think we want to remain silent.
I, Nyan Cheung'en, will never turn a blind eye to those in need. After you left, I did some asking around. Turns out, Nengqi fled back to his camp. It seems I went too easy on him before. A mistake I shan't make a second time. Just you wait. Before long, my praises shall be sung across Cloudspire. Turns out, Nengqi fled back to his camp. It seems I went too easy on him before. A mistake I shan't make a second time. Just you wait. Before long, my
I'm not
praises
sure
shall
what
be
CN is
sung
up to,
across
but
Cloudspire.
Nengqi is the boss that we're going to face right now. And CN is going to help us fight. Don't know how good he is. Wait. Where are you? You're supposed to be here. Oh, okay. There you are. And the reason you...
Nengqi's holed up in the camp.
Okay,
I've
so
been
the
lying in wait. Yet he's not so much as poked his head out. Maybe your arrival
So the reason
was
we do
late.
this is to further
Let's
their
jump in
quests.
together.
I
You won't
know
even know what hit him.
some players
Summon
in
me
other
with that
Soulsborne
whistle,
games are like,
and I'll
I don't
be
use
right
summons. I
there
know Elden
at
Ring, there
your
were a lot of
command.
people who were opposed to summons. I think in Elden Ring it didn't affect the quest because they were spirit summons. In this case, they were human summons. So let's see what the general has. Whoa. Okay. He hits hard.
So you are Nengqi.
Oh my god. Alright.
I shall use you to
Got all this special effects stuff going on. Man, he's lighting Cian up in the corner. I have a lightning spell that I'm using as well. And only because he's armored, I figured lightning against an armored person with the metal might work. But he doesn't seem to care. He's doing okay damage. Okay, so he's got lightning and he's got frost. not as worried. Well, I was about to say I'm not as worried about the frost because we were fighting in the sun. Okay. 3 attempts later.
Will claim the throne.
This is the 4th attempt. Notice I changed my armor.
So you are Iron. I should keep the suffering I have had.
I'm still almost killed. Yeah, dodging is your friend. And the sword I have equipped should allow me to maneuver or dodge better. You definitely don't want to be tanking those frost waves. Yeah, and it's hanging in there. I don't want him to die too early. But he's doing a pretty good job of keeping him from aggroing on me. Whoa. Giving me a chance to chip away at his health with magic from the distance. Alright, he's sort of switched from frost to fire, which is okay. Well, it's okay for me, not so much for Nian, who seems to be struggling with that. Trying to dodge behind him, but he's against the wall. Get away and heal. Alright, got him down to less than 25%. Keep chipping away. I think Nian is dead. Missed the critical. That would have probably ended this fight. That's okay. Yeah, those are pretty dodgeable. Yeah, he seems to always do them 3 times. And there we go. Nengqi is dead. Okay. And that is spell. I don't know that too many bosses are actually weak to lightning in this game. You know, when I'm struggling with a boss, I'll try anything to see whether it's having an effect. But I know that in some cases it's useless. Because in some cases it really... all you're doing is wasting it, because, you know, they may be able to absorb 100% of whatever that spell is. So a little bit like the way the Elden Ring stats work. If they can absorb 20% of your spell, then it's not going to be 100% effective. Pick up my stuff from one of my previous butt kickings. And the end should be out here somewhere. Where are you, buddy? Are you in here? Or are you out there? Nope, you're out here somewhere. There you are.
Hardly believe it.
Nope, I leveled up.
You seem even more formidable than before. It's true what they say. Absence sharpens both the heart and the warrior. For now, the title of the strongest belongs to you. But we'll see how long that lasts. Yet, I shall reclaim that title before long.
I'm not looking forward to
And that
fighting
is
this
a
guy.
promise. I
I'm
demand
guessing
that we
his
spar when next
abilities
we
will be
meet.
pretty amped up in a fight against him. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that there are 2 bosses in this area. We know where the other one is. We didn't go across the bridge where he's located. Once you cross that bridge, you activate the boss fight. So what we're gonna do is level up. 40 is good. I don't actually know what the max is for leveling up. I guess if you... I don't know whether you can unlock... I don't think there's enough points for you to be able to unlock every single thing and every skill tree in one playthrough. So what we want to do is go back and find the old lady. Kiao Yang, I think is her name. Or Kiao Yang. She's in one of these houses on the 2nd floor. And then we'll go back to Rebel Camp to face the other boss.
My son say,
Okay.
I Nengqi. Who the hell's that?
Okay, she's got a little dementia going on there.
Lin's my son. Xiao Lin. My dear son. Where on earth are you? Mother misses you so. I remember now. My boy never came to Cloudspire. Did he? My boy, I'm so sorry. I'll go find you. Don't you worry. I'll find you right away. My boy, I'm so sorry. I'll go find you. Don't you worry. I'll find you right away.
Yeah, I keep forgetting these guys come back every time I reset the world. Okay, now we're heading to the second boss fight. And then Cheung'en, I think is how you pronounce his name. And the reason I didn't want to cross the bridge is because the moment you enter that arena, the boss fight starts. There is no summons for the fight. You're on your own, and he's a difficult boss. Up to this point, maybe the most difficult boss we've faced so far. Yeah, and if I keep stepping on mines and using all my health potions, which would be stupid. I've already been through here. I'm just looking around to see if I missed stuff. Okay. Alright. Time for confrontation here. This is another frost-based boss. Guess it sort of makes sense in this area. And like all the other ones, I'll show you the first attempt and then the last attempt. And I'll tell you how many attempts it took. See, don't be fooled by his little slow old man walk.
Grant me the honor of continuing my service to you.
I sort of figured fire-based weapons would work against him because he's a frost-based boss.
Now it's time for the blood of invaders.
Wow, he can teleport. It's pretty impressive. He's got some seriously long combos. Those you just want to dodge. He's going to do it 3 times. So dodging is good. You need to be good at it. And we're fighting almost all of the bosses. Okay. This is my 20th attempt. Right. This spell seems to do more damage than the fire spell, so that's why I'm using it. Plus, because of alacrity, it recharges pretty fast when you're dodging. So basically, you can just spam it as long as you stay away far enough away that you don't die. Which I'm clearly not doing. I've gotten better at dodging those. Get a hit in. Back off, don't be greedy.
Wasted on rebellion.
Every chance you get, you chuck one of those at him. He jumps up 3 times. Hit him again. Back up. Try not to get hit like I'm doing. You know, every time I think I have a go-to spell, turns out it's not necessarily go-to. Yeah, you don't want to get caught in that. I'm far enough away that it doesn't do anything. After he does that, creates that frost tornado thing, he comes right at you. Yeah, you want to stay out of that. guess I knocked him out of it. I'm not sure. Nice. Nice. Huh, I may have to consider using that in other boss fights because it clearly broke his poise. I don't know what that audible cue is for. I know that if he gets behind you, if he transports behind you, he's going to cut your throat. That's the end of the fight.
Not betray it.
Wow, that was risky. He's nice enough to give me a chance to heal. Totally with that one. Yeah, he can throw things now. Figured I'd get a couple of hits in with my little short sword. Short sword against some guy who's wielding a long sword. Although he's using it one-handed, so I guess it's still a long sword. Or is that a spear? No, it's a sword. Definitely a sword. Nice. This fight is definitely easier if you're dodging and chipping away. Whoa. One or two more. Ah, there we go. All right. 20 times.
While your
And the first 8 or so weren't even close.
Your trials are far from over.
After that, it got a little bit better. So, you know, I was wondering, why is he just standing there? Because one of the patches changed what happens to the bosses, or at least the humanoid bosses. I guess people were upset because some of the humanoid bosses are based on historical characters in China, and they were unhappy with that, with killing them off like that. And so what they did was they either would become fatigued and just basically incommunicado, just stand there. Now, he is going to move to a space that's right next to this shrine if I come back here. But you can't interact with him, you can't hurt him anymore, he's done. And there are a number of humanoid bosses like this in the game. The monster bosses, that's not true. You can kill them and they'll disappear. But it's an interesting change. And, you know, I hadn't read what that particular, I think there's been a patch since then, and I hadn't read what it was all about. And I was wondering, why is he just standing there? You know, what's going on? None of the game settings are such that you don't kill the enemies. I mean, what would the fun in that be? Okay, we're up to level 42. So I feel better about this particular episode, because we would have taken on 2 major bosses. In the last episode we didn't take on any, but we explored most of the earlier part of Cloudspire. So what we want to do is jump back to the temple to visit some of the NPCs. Oh, there he is. Okay, so he moved. And he's going to stay there. He's not going to move again. And after he talks this time, he won't talk again.
You may not be one of us, but the feathering has marked you. Proceed onward, and the city guard will consider you nothing more than a monster. While I cannot stop you, I also cannot provide assistance. Go in peace. You may not be one of us.
treasures do you have for me today? Let me make an assessment. Oh, the prayer beads that were enshrined in the Lightson Temple. I've seen them before. Crafted from 7 precious treasures. Absolutely priceless. The beads disappeared when the rebels stormed through. Seems they've been holding on to them all this time. Unfortunately, they targeted Cloudspire after fleeing town. That lady up there? She is no one to be trifled with. Where on earth did you come across this? In all my years of travel, I've never encountered anything like it. Cheung'en was appointed by the Emperor to oversee Cloudspire a few years ago. It was obvious he was there to keep Snowfall Palace in check. With the Ming dynasty crumbling, he could have easily carved out his own kingdom. Instead, his loyalty binds him to chase the impossible. Resurrection. The fate of the dynasty. It's long since past. If you've got more than you need, don't forget to drop by and support my humble business.
Okay, this is the path out of the boss arena from the other side.
Fiend, die!
He told us we can go through the gate. So we're in another rebel camp. Which can't be connected to the other one since we actually crossed this ravine to get to it. We're getting close to the entry to Cloudspire City. I almost fell off of that bridge, which I'm pretty sure would have been death. Okay, so like the other encampment, we're just going to work our way around. So, just trying to, okay, let's go right. I was trying to think, should I go right side first, left side first? Let's go. I know they're enemies. There we go. I was gonna say, I know it's way too quiet for that. They don't overwhelm you with enemies, but you're never really by yourself. And since I just fought the last guy using my chucking magic, I'm going to use it more until I find something else that I want to try out. And since I've continually increased my magic skills, magic potency, a lot of these weapons are doing really good. The reason I use the Is that spelled Vorpal Blade? I think is the first one that you get in the game. Because the cost is really, really low and it regenerates very fast. So you only need 1 versus 2 of the Skyborn Mites. And it does a lot of damage. So if I am committed to adding more melee into this, if I hit him once with that and then go melee, I should be able to fight. I should be able to defeat these humanoid enemies. Unless it's an elite, in which case it takes a little bit more effort. So we're going to loot everything we can find. I actually don't see a way out of here either. It's just like a big circle with this big thing in the middle. Okay, we have a couple of enemies ahead. Let's try this. We're gonna loop around to them anyway. I'm not quite sure what my logic was. Okay, well there's a door to the left that you look like you can go into. Okay, I guess that's the way forward. Yeah, this looks like the way forward. I was wondering, well, okay, we got you. We have a chest off to the left. And this little building, I guess it's the way forward. We'll find out in a second whether or not it goes all, or whether it's just a little building. But let's get the chest first. There's always goodies in these. Ah, okay, we have a benediction. Very nice. Yeah, you definitely want to collect as many of them as possible, as I mentioned earlier, because if you get a set, you get a 3-set bonus. You also get a 6. I guess if you have 2 sets, you have 2 3-set bonuses. I think you can go up to 12. I'm not sure. Okay, so this looks like a dead end. There's no. Oh no, there's an upstairs. All right, and there's a doggy. So yeah, you definitely want to collect as many of those. So like I said, some of them you can find. This is another spell that I got that looks pretty fantastic. I don't know how it works against humans. It certainly did more damage against the dog than my Vorpal Blade does. That was a little bit of overkill. I didn't really need to do that. There's a trap in the middle of the floor. Looks like it sends arrows down if you step on it. In true Elden Ring fashion. Or I shouldn't say Elden Rings. In true Soulsborne fashion. And the traps in this game are pretty spread out. You got a couple of sleeping guys here. Wake up. There's another one right over here. Hey, buddy. Hey, hold this. Gotcha. I don't know what the best farming spots are yet. for that. Right, if you wanted to farm, I guess up to this point, this is the furthest we progressed in the game, so it would be here. You have enough soldiers. The elites will be there, but the bosses won't come back. So if you wanted to farm, I guess this spot would be, and as you progress through the game, I guess the smarter farming spots would be the places you would have just... Yeah, we saw those guys when we were downstairs. We didn't fight them. The smartest farming spots would be the place that you most recently did in terms of progression. Oh, a friend.
What are you doing here, of all places? How's your condition? I passed many people who've fallen to the feathering. Most lost to madness. But your mind... it remains sharp. The boatman's medicine must be working. Ah! I nearly forgot. My memory's been slipping as of late. The Imperial Guards from the Tang Emperor's palace have definitely made their way to Cloudspire. I hear they're led by Hong Lan, commander of the Imperial Guard. I tried following them into the inner city, but the drawbridge was raised. I had to slip away and find another route. As fate would have it, I was captured by rebels. Held for days, I nearly ended up as their next meal. Fortunately, chaos erupted within their ranks, and I managed to escape during the confusion. I've kept busy gathering information these few days past. Apparently, the rebels wish to steal a certain something, thus their plots to break into the city. There's talk of the Madam of Snowfall Palace having ties with Nengqi. And the commander, it's said she also went to Snowfall, and hasn't been heard from since. Could she have been captured? Is there secretly discord between the Ming forces and Snowfall Palace? Almost slipped my mind. Take this. The old boatman gave it to me before I came to Cloudspire. I tried to offer payment, but he refused, claiming I had already given enough. He mumbled something about 4 peculiar objects that consume their bearers. Whether it was truth or simply the madness speaking, I cannot say. But we should head to Snowfall Palace first, before making any further plans. Lowering the drawbridge must have attracted unwanted attention. Tread carefully. Lowering the drawbridge must have attracted unwanted attention. Tread carefully.
So he's been with us the entire journey. We've seen him in every area of the game so far. We have another... Is he friendly or not? Nope, I guess he's an NPC. We've not met this one before.
I know you. Yes, you're our savior. The one who dealt with those ruffians. The madam's beside herself with joy, I must say. The name's Lee, a humble treasurer. What can I do you for? At last! I assume it was that Taoist woman who sent you, no? Ha ha ha! Could nary pry it from her clammy hands. Yet now she sends it right to me. It's a damn shame. The state those rebels left Zhenwu Temple in. We'd often work with the Taoists during their heyday. Indeed, it was with thanks to them that business here in Snowfall Palace first flourished. But times change. Chaos racks our world. And without the Madam, I dare say Snowfall Palace wouldn't be standing today. Rest assured, now that I have the scroll, that Taoist will be handsomely rewarded.
Of course I missed. That was bad. Okay, so we know we're heading to Snowfall Palace. A couple of people have mentioned it so far. Yeah, this guy is a tough enemy. He hits very hard. Well, that actually damage on that particular spell is actually pretty good. I'm guessing on regular enemies it probably would have killed them. You just stand there and let your buddy get killed, really. Totally missed. Okay, so aiming those through door frames is probably not a good idea. This is my go-to spell, and that seems to work just fine. Guy apparently cares about a lot about money. I'm not quite sure what his thing is right now. I guess we'll see him in Snowfall Palace somewhere. Okay, we made it to Cloudspire City. Shrine is, so, and I do have the pendant on that gives me it's lifesteal, so gives me health upon defeating enemies. That actually should be helpful. There's a bird up there that we need to take out. Grab a feather. And I only use them in boss fights, but to be honest with you, when you go through 20 attempts to face a boss, you run through those feathers pretty quickly. But otherwise you wouldn't use them. And this is my favorite enemy of the game. I hate these guys. They're very tanky. You can hit you with, I guess it's corruption? Or is it despair or blight? I can't remember which one it is, but those red balls that come flying at you. Those. And you definitely want to, if you get hit with all of them, it's sort of like an automatic death. If you get hit with one or two of them, it's not so bad. He's spamming this move. And he has this little stomp thing. I'm not sure what that does. Takes care of him, and we can sort of progress on. Again, I like the way the game spreads the enemies out.
You're not from around here, are you, miss? Ever visited Hillswatch? I'm Fang Yao. My father's the local apothecary. Father was wounded by the Snowfall folks while protecting me. I just want to know how he's doing. If you hear any news about him, could you let me know? I just want to know how he's doing. If you hear any news about him, could you let me know? This handkerchief. Mother made this for me. Father, he's... Ling. What do I do now?
Okay, I'm looking for young ladies. Not quite sure what for, since I think a wedding is already planned. Yeah, you gotta watch out for these ladies. Some of them are non-hostile and some are not. We first met ladies like them in the Mercury area, Mercury Laboratory. It's not all of them are hostile though. Some of them will just sit on the floor crying, and some of them will not, like that one. yet another shrine. Alright, we found this little detour. Let's see where it leads. Not sure where it leads or what it is. Maybe it's a little short. Maybe it's a shortcut to a different area. Okay, I think this is actually progression. Should be a second ladder up here. And there it is. Okay, cool. I mean, by the time we're done with Cloudspire City, we will have been all over the place. Some of the buildings are connected, some are not. Oh, we have another NPC.
Now, where did I put it? It must be within Cloudspire. Time's of the essence. Better get looking. Ah, the lady who lowered the bridge, I presume. You should know that your deeds left the madam exceptionally pleased. My name is Cheung'en, the butler of Snowfall Palace. I deal with all matters large and small on the madam's behalf. The madam appreciates your help, but we're making preparations for a rather grand event. Hence, I must insist you keep out. By all means,
we'll be meeting the
proceed if you
madam
must.
later on.
However, I shall turn a blind eye only if you help me find a certain something. Much appreciated. The certain something is a set of 2 pieces. A phoenix coronet and a vermilion wedding dress for the bride-to-be. Nary a soul in Snowfall Palace is wealthy enough to sport such fine attire. You'll recognize
okay, so
it
we
at
have
a glance.
a little quest line for this guy as well. We have 2 directions we can head. We have the left and the right. More NPCs.
An outsider? Boss says I shouldn't talk to no outsiders.
With this particular
Just leave,
NPC,
will ya?
I should have met his grandmother by now.
An outsider? Boss says I shouldn't talk to no
And-
outsiders. Just leave, will ya?
I'll tell you what
Heard of the
happened in a
great
sec.
yonder gang, perchance? We rule things around here in Snowfall, and I'm the leader.
Yeah,
Don't
you
fear.
should choose the option
You're
of
in
joining
luck.
the gang.
I'm inviting you to join us. We'll overthrow that hag together. What do you say?
Which gets you another quest line, by the way.
Wise
And
choice.
Glut, we haven't met
one
yet.
of us now. That one over there's Matchstick, and then there's Glut.
Okay.
He's not
So in
back
terms
yet,
of
though.
this little kid over
We'll
here,
do great things together.
Boss says the bridge has been lowered. Was that your doing? Or calling me impressed? I can finally go look for Granny. Granny's getting old, so Dar sent her to that dark and smelly Mort Grotto, as per our traditions. It's atop the cliff at the mining tunnel. All the old folk are there. Dar says they have plenty of meat, so I needn't worry. That's rubbish if you ask me. I'm sure Granny's starving. I've got to head back to the village for food and get it to her. Granny must be waiting
right?
for me at
So
Mort
she's
Grotto.
at Mort Grotto,
Right?
but she is walled up in a wall, and unless you walk past it,
Granny
you won't get the
must be
prompt to
waiting
speak.
for me at Mort Grotto, right?
And if you speak,
Hear anything of note while at Snowfall Palace? There. Who cares if the hag's good-for-nothing son is getting married? And those, well, they're just lost scraps of cloth. Serves that old fart right for rushing everything. That old coat's up to no good. I bet the hag's behind it. Been snatching up brides left and right. I want to stand up for them. But he's trying to force us out of Snowfall Palace. In his dreams, we'll remain for as long as Snowfall Palace still stands. Look, I'll be honest. I've got the wedding clothes. Well, seeing as you're one of us now, you'd better act the part. It's been a fair while
okay,
since
so I have to
Glut
get
left.
Glut in order to get the wedding
Fetch him,
clothes, in order to give
and I'll give you these blasted
to
wedding
the guy
clothes.
we met when we climbed up the ladder. If I had spoken to Matchstick's grandmother, I would have gotten
Granny
a
must be
bowl of
waiting for
something
me at
to
Mort
give to
Grotto,
her,
right?
or him. But since I didn't speak to the grandmother, I don't have that quest item to give Matchstick. But if I get the wedding stuff, I give it back to this guy over here. And that then progresses his quest. So there's, interestingly, all of the NPCs that we met in the first chapter basically were hanging out at the temples. Now they seem to be sort of interspersed throughout the world, which is pretty interesting. Okay, these guys all have guns. Great. And dogs. The good news is you can basically dodge their bullets. Well, when you see the flash, you really should dodge and not stand there and take a bullet to the gut. I mean, this is the, Ming period, so guns weren't all that efficient back in those days. Alright, so we want to clear this little Bazaar, I guess is what this is, the Cloudspire Bazaar. I'm guessing that there are other guys with guns as well, and we have stronger guys in the middle. We fought one of those guys with the hats before. This other character we haven't. Of course, he would show up first. I think his lady friend is throwing darts at me from behind. Yeah, she's it's okay. That's what you get, lady. You messing with me. Alright, collect our loot and we'll continue to work our way through the bazaar. I think the guy we're supposed to be looking for our new gang is over here somewhere. You know who we haven't seen in a long time? One of those pot lady things, or pot genies as the game calls them. Pretty interesting. In chapter 1 there were multiples of those. In this chapter so far, I haven't seen that many. I think we fought one at the beginning of the chapter when we were lighting the spires on fire. There was one in one of the houses, but since then I haven't seen any. Okay, I'm trying to have a conversation here, people. Okay, so we have some loot in the tent. This guy's gonna end up killing me. Did he call me a vixen? Really? Okay, we got a brilliant red feather. Good. We get as many of those as we can find, because it allows us to upgrade. I'd rather be over-leveled than under-leveled for every part of the game. I think later in the game it will help more than at this point in the game. Oh my god. She's just like shooting the heck out of me. Yeah, I think where we are now in the game, we're probably at the appropriate level. I think that's true for every place we've been so far in the game, even though I've struggled with some of the bosses and some of them I haven't struggled with. I think I'm at the right level. It's just that when you're playing a magic build, You know, versus I think the strongest build in the game is probably, god damn, really? The strongest build in the game is probably the axe. So if you're doing an axe build and you're basically, you know, sort of playing big bonk, then I think that you can probably bully your way through most of the game. I think it's even stronger than the longsword. I'm not quite sure about blue blades. My understanding is they have some unique qualities that actually are pretty good, like clash, and some of the blocking ability. But when you're using the axe, you don't worry about any of that because you can just power your way through any attack. So, but in Souls games, I almost never play that type of strength build character. It's either going to be some rogue type, high agility character. Okay, I think that's Glut over there, but let's check out, well, let's kill the bird first. Let's check out this area, make sure we aren't missing anything, and then we can go talk to Glut. Hey buddy, your people are looking for you.
Huh? An outsider? Boss says I should talk to no outsiders. Oh, great. Now we can finally do something big together. I've got to eat wherever I can find, because the butler's busy. Boss says the butler's a meanie, but he brought me food, and he took my master to Snowfall Palace to achieve greatness. My master's the greatest tailor in town, although I haven't seen him since he set off for Snowfall. Oh, the butler said my master wanted to see me, to show me what he'd been working on.
Decisions.
Boss is looking for me too, so...
I'm going to tell him to look for his master.
I don't know
what the best option is for this.
Right. After all this time, I'm sure his skills are even better now. I'll sneak away just this once. I'm sure Boss will forgive me. I'll sneak away just this once. I'm sure Boss will forgive me.
Go back and give her the news.
Hear anything of note while at Snowfall Palace? Huh? He's gone to look for his master. All he does is eat and rave on about that master of his. Lazier than a sack of potatoes, if you ask me. In any case, you provided me his whereabouts. Here, take the clothes. It's high time I thought up a master plan to rid that hag of her power. It's high time I thought up a master plan to rid that hag of her power.
Okay, so we've advanced at least one of their quest lines. She didn't have us make a choice of some type, whereas the other one did. Buddy, I'm not sure I can trust you.
find them for me. Much obliged. They were here in the castle for safekeeping, ready for the bride-to-be, until they vanished, that is. Thank the stars you found them. Hand the wedding attire over to the madam, and she shall reward you handsomely. Oh, and, you'll find a gang of youths in the inner head calling themselves Great Yonder. Should you take up work for the madam, I ask that you not treat the children too harshly. Be merciful, miss. They're but children growing up on the streets as beggars with no one to guide them.
But maybe he's not a bad guy. I wasn't sure what to think of him because of what Glad said, but maybe
you'll find
maybe he's not bad. Every time we've come through here, we fought this guy. So the first time he was a little bit intimidating. Thereafter, not so much. I really should just let them fight it out instead of interfering. And then whoever's left, rip them out. Downstairs, and on this side there's an upstairs on the other side, so let's do this first. Of course there's treasure in the room, or at least loot in the room, which means there are probably enemies down here too. loot, and we have a guy over there in the corner lurking. So it gives us another one of these benediction things. So again, reiterating that it's good to explore. The game sort of forces you, because I don't know whether anyone could figure out the direct path through the game without getting sidetracked. It's a little bit like Black Myth in that regard. Yeah, because there's no real linear... I guess if you listen to the NPCs and you have to talk to them, right? Because if you don't, then you don't really know what to do. Like some of them you see along the road that you're traveling, some you see in the temples, some you see. So it's really interesting how this is set up. So yeah, there are things that are definitely missable, and my feeling is because of that, you could potentially be locked out of some of the endings to the game inadvertently. Okay, this is the ladder we saw when we came up, the 2 ladders on the other side. So it's a bit of a shortcut. So instead of having to go all the way around, we can just simply climb the ladder. I think this ladder probably connects to the other ladder that we saw in the other part of the game. Let's see. So we should go forward and we should see, it's a short area. I think that's what this does. Okay, nope, it's a longer area than I thought. So we have this little goodie. Brilliant red feather, good. I didn't want to drop down before going to this other side just in case it's a one-way trip. What the hell is that? Who killed him? I guess there must be a trap over there somewhere if you step down. I don't know. Okay, no, this is a much longer cave. Well, let's see where it goes. Okay, so yeah, this is a dead end because it leads to this little alcove. And there's no ladder out of it, so it is a dead end, so, okay. No ladder, no way out except the way we came. So I guess the only purpose for coming down here was to get whatever loot we could find. If we took the drop down, by the way, it would have looped us back around to the same spot. So we didn't miss anything. So we can go back this way and then go... I thought there was an up over here. No, you can clearly... Looks like you can come in through that window. Okay, that's the ladder we lowered when we came around here the first time. That's a shortcut leading back to how we got up here. The double ladder on the other side, the butler, the kids. Yeah, this is me being a little lost, trying to figure out, okay, where do I go next? No, we've explored everything in the opposite direction, so there's nothing we can do there. So it has to be either going forward through the buildings or dropping down. Breaking my kneecaps. Yeah, like I said, let them fight it out. And then whoever's left, we'll mop them up. And he's coming at me kind of aggressive. No need to be extra, buddy. Oh, he didn't kill those other guys. Alright, I thought he wouldn't aggro on me into this guy until we killed him. Guess not. Okay, so we can go left, we can go right. So left, push this into a building, a little bit of loot, and we can go up the steps. Let's see where right takes us. Right takes us. Okay, we can. Looks like we can go forward in either direction, but I'm not sure which is the right direction. Let's just take Fido out of his misery there. Oh my god, we have one of these ladies who are so tough to fight. And when we get to Snowfall Palace, there's a bunch of them. One is tough enough. They're very fast and they hit really, really hard. This is a pretty, this whole little section is a pretty good farming area because they will respawn every time. So while she's a little bit of an elite, who's shooting at me? Oh my god, my inner demon. Oh shoot. I want the inner demon to fight. If I survive this, I got 0 health left. Alright. Come on, I want the inner demon. I want them to get into it. See, which one of you guys is best, because that lady is tough and the inner demon is very tough. There you go. Nope, not yet. There we go. That's right. Beat each other to death. Right, I'm just going to stay out of their way. Let them talk it out. Jesus, the inner demon is just blowing her, blasting her. Oh my god. She got an obliterate hit on her in a corner. Damn. Okay, Lee's fighting back. Okay, looks like the fight is over. So I got mop-up duty. Alright. That's probably the easiest inner demon fight I've had. Thanks to the help of this other enemy who is pretty damn strong. Alright, yeah, it's a one-way. Once you drop down, you can't go back the same way you came. So let's go forward. That's a block path. We killed the dog, we killed the gunman, and the inner demon took care of the lady who was blowing the flute. This we'll have to unlock. There's a chest in there that we want. I think it has one of the flask upgrade thingies in there. Lost remembrance or forgotten remembrance, something like that. You know, up these steps is another hat-wearing enemy. Oh, by the way, you can't just go in and take the stuff out of the chest. There's an enemy in there. And we have one of these little junior maidens. The lady who's wearing the hat and playing the flute is called the senior maiden. They're much tougher than these. All they do is chuck these little things at you. You can walk up to them and hit them a couple of times and they'll die. So we have this area where I think in that room you can go upstairs as well. And then back here you have 3 enemies. One is a gunman on a perch up high. You can actually kill him without aggroing the other ones, and then you have the 2 that are on the ground. Okay, it's good to take him out because he's just annoying. He's just going to take pot shots at you the whole time. It's just easier to just take him out, not worry about him. Then you got this guy, who again is one of the elite type guys. Where is his lady friend? Oh, I guess she was in the room in that building where we killed her. Sometimes they're together and sometimes they're not. I've been through this area a couple of times and died a couple of times, just as an FYI. And I'll probably be through here a few more times because I think it's good farming if you take out all the tough enemies. And because I got lost and I came through here as well. So, you know, I try to look at the top of the buildings to see if I can recognize the differences between them. There is a chest where the shooter was in this area, but you can't get to it from here. So when you work your way around to get to where he is, and you drop down, you end up back in this area. And if you've reset the world, you end up having to fight all of these guys again. Idiot. You're an idiot. That's right. Give me a chance to recharge my magic. You just stay right there. Nope. Yeah, this little area is tough only because you have all these heavy-hitting enemies. Although it was a little bit easier with the senior maiden because of the inner demon. She did the heavy lifting on that fight. I got like no resources left after this little section.
Our great Meng.
We have some armor pieces. That's, I guess, something. So when you go up, when you go through here, that ladder. Once you work your way around, because there's another way you have to go, you kick that ladder down and it gives you an access point back up. So once you go up to grab the chest that's up there and you drop down, you can get back up by climbing the ladder instead of having to go all the way around again. But if you don't drop that ladder, you will have to go all the way around again. If you need to come back here for any reason, I'm not sure that there's, once you get all the loot, I'm not sure there's a reason to come back. We know that there's that locked door that we can't get to from here. We can only get to it from inside. And so we'll need to take out the guy who's guarding the chest, unlock that door, which gives you another mini shortcut, I guess. See, these ladies aren't going to be hostile to you. But the ones that are will sort of sneak up on you and stab you 3 or 4 times. Okay, so the buildings aren't totally connected, as you can see. So you get up here, but you can't really do anything. So you go through the building. And usually there's someone waiting to jump you. And there is. I hear another one of those crying maiden ladies in here somewhere. And there's a pressure pad on the floor that you don't want to step on. That, right? You don't want to step on that thing. So there are enough, interestingly, there are enough of these little traps in the game to make you very vigilant. I don't actually know whether they can all kill you. You know, I know as we move forward, we'll have more traps. See now, is this a hostile one or not? Yeah, no, she's full health, so she's hostile. Oh, great. Okay, well, you know, lady. Yeah, the non-hostile ones are like very low health or something like that. You can sort of tell by that. They were all on the ground crying, so I don't think you can tell by whether they're crying or not. But they're very annoying. All right. Continue to make our way up this building. And we're going to wrap things up shortly because we're at the fast approaching the 2.5 hour mark. I feel like we've accomplished something. We killed 2 bosses. Okay, we have a gunman and we have a junior maiden, or whatever they call the non-senior members. Non-senior maidens. She's going to keep chucking those things, and he's going to keep shooting. And you see in the background there's another ladder that we have to climb up. Okay, well, that was dumb. I missed the entire shot. They're pretty weak. I could just run up to her and hit her a couple of times. I mean, she doesn't... They use smoke bombs. They don't really fight. They use smoke bombs to evade you if you're trying to slash them. Her little weapons, like a lot of the throwables I mentioned earlier, just don't do a lot of damage. But the guy who's covering her with the rifle, on the other hand, could be pretty annoying. And this guy, I mean, eventually you would want to kill him, but you don't have to. I don't think he can really move from that spot. However, if you don't kill him, when you climb the ladder that we saw and you fight the enemy that's up top, and you climb down on the other side, he might snipe you. So it's probably better to take him out. You know, up this this ladder is, you know, one of my favorite enemy types. You know, the guy who throws the red balls at you. Very annoying. This guy. So ideally what I would want to do is to, I think I want to use fire. I don't think I want to use that. I don't have enough experience using that slash kind of a thing to know whether it does real damage or not. I should have been using it on some of the more humanoid enemies. Yeah, no, it definitely does not do a lot of damage. And I don't want to be fighting this guy on the roof. So why don't we go back down here and rethink our strategy. Whoa. W iframes, very nice. Well, I hope you can't fire the little red balls down here because they'll probably knock me off of this thing. Okay, so that strategy didn't work. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go with the fire thing. I know he's semi-weak to fire, or at least he seems like he's weak to fire. If I had distance, I could use magic, but I don't think this is enough distance for me to sort of... Okay, instead of using fire, I decided to try the other method that was so successful in my boss fight. But like I said, I can't get enough distance. I knew that was going to happen. If you can't, you know, sort of get away from him, and he's got this hook weapon that he uses. Alright, so valuable lesson learned. You guys didn't see me do the run back to this area. That was where I faced all my enemies all over again to get back here. And so now we're going to go with what would have been the more rational thing to use, because this has some distance. Now, the silly part, of course, is I didn't wait for it to charge twice, which I should have. You know, to get 2 shots off, which does a lot more damage. He will go back to that area once he de-aggroes. He'll go right back to this space here. Okay, we go back down, we do it all over again. I think the next time should probably kill me. I think. We'll find out. Maybe not. Oh no, it did. Okay, all right. He does some goofy little laugh thing when he dies, and I heard it, but I wasn't sure whether he was really dead or not. Okay, so you want to grab this item, and the correct way to do this is to do a series of drop downs. So the rifleman that was shooting at us was on that drop down. But we're going to end here since we're at the 2.5 hour mark, and when we pick up next time, we'll pick up from this spot and we'll continue to explore this area. So thank you guys for joining me on this journey. It's a very fun game, and we will see you in the next episode. Uploads every Tuesday and Friday. Take care. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye.